Hey guys, I just wanted to do a follow-up video on the Polarna. I know I said I was going to do a ride along and review there, but I've been waiting on my wife's Lectric XP 2.0 step through to come in because I want to have at least something to compare to. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of these screen settings and maybe go through some of the experiences that I've had so far with the Polarna. So far it's been a great bike. I haven't had, we'll say, many issues. Just a couple really. When I first got it, I noticed right off the bat that this, I guess the headset bolt was loose. It used to be an Allen up here. Well, it turns out that it was stripped out. So the handlebars were completely loose. So when I tried to tighten it up, it just didn't catch. I think they stripped it from the factory, maybe cross-threaded it. And I only exacerbated the issue when I tried to screw it in even more. So I just grabbed, I had some hardware lying around in the garage, and so I grabbed a bolt that was a little larger, and I was able to pretty much self-tap it in there. So it worked out perfect. They're nice and firm now. The other issue that I had, which a lot of other people have mentioned in the group, they've noticed like some kind of rattle or vibrating sound back by the rear wheel. Some people are saying that it's the hub. Mine was not. That's not to say that it could be your hub if you're having that vibrating issue, but on mine, what the problem was, this fender right here gets really close to the swing arm. And so you can see mine's not touching now, but when I first got it, it was. So you can see this fender bolt is adjustable. So you loosen it up, and it's just an Allen, and it actually comes with this, the bike itself comes with an Allen that's this size. So you loosen it up, and then you just slide it forward or backwards or whatever you need to do. In this case, backwards, just to get it away from the fender. And all you need is that tiny little gap. So if you bought this bike and you notice that there's a rattle in the rear, but it seems like it's only occurring during certain speeds, it's most likely because at those speeds the frequency of the wheels hitting the ground and of the rear tire turning, it's causing this to tap on this fender. So if you just slide it away ever so slightly, you'll notice that rattle will clear up. That's really it. That's the only issues that I've had so far. It's been pretty good. I haven't ridden it very much. I took it to a campground nearby, but wasn't too bad. I will say that I have an RV, which is the primary reason that I bought this, was to kind of have a little way to get around, ride through the trails and whatnot. This bike, while it is a folding bike, I think most people like myself think that when you get a bike like this, it's going to be nice and portable because the fact that it folds up and the handlebars will drop down as well. That's definitely, yes, it's true. But this is not a small bike. It still takes up a pretty decent footprint, even when it is folded up. And maybe I'll show you that here in a minute as well. But let's go through some of the screen settings that I changed, some of the stuff that I noticed. So first of all, to turn it on, you make sure the key's on. All right, so now I'll hit the power button. And hopefully the screen flickering isn't too bad. Hopefully it's in sync with my camera. I'm going to try to do this with one hand. So to get to the settings, well, I guess we'll go over the basic functionality. So here you have your lights on, off. There is a sensor on here, so it's not super dark in here right now, but it's not the brightest. So I think as long as it's not direct light like the sun shining on the screen, it is going to trigger the sensor to kick the light on, but you can manually turn it off if you want. The information button will toggle the speed and the miles, your odometer there on the bottom right. So as you can see, I haven't ridden very far, 7.9 miles. I think some folks have already, cruised hundreds of miles on this thing, which I guess they're using it as a commuter, but that's not really my purpose. And then to get to the main menu, or to the settings menu, you hold both these buttons on the left. And I guess we'll start in display settings. Hopefully you can see that. That's the first option there. So you scroll up and down by using the plus and minus, and then to select a item, you just hit that I button. So now we're in the display settings button. That first one is dormancy. That I guess that changes how long the screen, how long it will take for the screen to go dormant if you're not using it. The trip reset is basically your if you want to measure how far you're going, you can reset that to 0 and then go for your ride, and then you can see how far you went. And let's go back in because it kicked me out. This is the sensitivity. So I think this is the light sensitivity. So if you're out in direct sun, then it'll my bike will not kick on the headlight, but you can adjust that setting. So if you want to adjust the sensitivity, you can do that. I just left mine as is there. Of course, here you got your unit. You got imperial and metric that you can change it to. LCD luminance, the brightness of the actual screen. Password in case you want to lock it up, and then you can restore all the settings if you desire, or if you bought this from somebody else secondhand or whatever the case is. So I'm going to go back because this is probably the more interesting screen. And I really don't know if you can see this, so I apologize if it's a little, that's a little bit better. But you got advanced settings here. So when you get this from Polarna, at least mine anyway, the first item here, the wheel size, was set to 26 inches. So you definitely want to change it to 20. At least that's what I found for mine. I thought initially maybe because this was a fat tire bike that they purposefully set it to 26, thinking that the tire sidewall was a little bit bigger, so setting it to 26 would account for that. But that wasn't the case. I did some GPS testing, and it's definitely a lot better on 20. I think some folks have actually done some more in-depth testing, but I just wanted to get it close, and 20 inches fine for me. The speed limit was a lot lower when you initially get it. I can't remember what it was, maybe 20. And to change it, all I did was hit the I button. It opens up that option, and then you can go up and down. Of course, you can set it to whatever you want. It looks like 38 is the max. Maybe I'll leave it there, actually. I had it on 35, but I'll set it to 38. You'll never get to 38 miles an hour on this bike, but you can get, I've gotten at least 30 on here without too much of an issue, so it cruises along pretty well. So once you make your changes, so we have it on 38, then you just hit the I button to get out of that screen. We'll go down to the current limit. I've heard some people say that this should be set to 20, but when I got mine, it was already set to 25 amps, so I decided not to mess with it, and seems to be working fine. So no issues so far. If you have more information on whether it should be 20 or 25 amp, please just add it to the comments and let me know. I'd like to know what it's actually supposed to be set to. And this is getting really annoying. Then the next item we have is the speed sensor. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Another one that maybe you can add in the comments. Assistant number. I think this has to do with basically the number of magnets inside the crank. So basically the amount that you turn the pedals before the motor assist kicks in. So I think that's the way that works. The voltage, so this is obviously a 48 volt battery. You want to leave it there. That's probably one of the items that is definitely something you don't want to touch. The power set, when you first get your bike, at least mine was set to 0 through 5. So what that is it gives you 5 different options for the power assist. The 0, so when you first turn it on, it'll be set to 0 assist, and then you click it up to 1, and that'll give you the first level of pedal assist. What the 0 does is it lets you go back to 0 if you want. So if you want to turn it off, you can go back to 0. If you were to set it to 1 through 5, when you first turn it on, it'll still be at 0 pedal assist, but as soon as you go to 1, it's not going to let you go back down to 0. And then the 5 is going to let you go up to the highest level of this mode of pedal assist, 1 through 5, which if you dig in a little deeper, so it gives you the percentage of assistance that it's going to give you as far as the motor. So if you're on 1, it's going to give you approximately 25% pedal assist, 2, 35, and then you'll notice on 5 that it only goes up to 85. So if you want to go higher than that, you can manually change that in here. But what I did, and I think what a lot of others did, is actually change the mode itself. So instead of 1 through 5, you have a bunch of other options. So you can change it to 1 through 3, 0 through 3, and you can dive into each one of those, and it'll give you approximately how much assistance those levels are giving you. I had mine set to 1 through 9, which basically gives you more increments. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on this one, but you can see that number 9 gives you 96% of the output. So I thought that was, you can actually use what the bike is capable of. I think you can actually change this to 100, and I don't know why they don't let you change it to 100. So it does let you change it to 100 if you want to manually change it, but I just left it at 96, which is what it was. I don't want to burn anything out. I'm not saying that that will be the case. But I just chose to leave it to one of the settings that they had pre-configured. Slow start. Not sure what this is. There is a mode on here. If you hold down the minus button when you're just cruising on if you're just standing next to the bike, it's basically made so if you want to cross the street or something like that and you're not sitting on the bike, it'll give you like a cruise control mode where the bike will go at a slow speed next to you. I'm not sure if that's it. Not really sure about that one. And then the CRU is another one that I didn't play with. You could probably get CRU information on there's probably a lot of information on CRU out there. I just haven't really dug into it. The ones that I was really interested in and the ones that I recommend you change would be this power set, so you can change the level of output. The speed limit, so you can get a higher top speed out of it, and then the wheel size, just so your speedometer is more accurate. So that's it as far as the controls go here, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So right now I'm in mode 1 through 9. So if I go up to, right now this is 0, so if I go up to 1, then I can't go back to 0. It'll let me go up and down all the way up to 9, but it will not let me go back to 0, which I actually prefer because it's kind of annoying to be in. As long as you don't plan on turning off your pedal assist completely pretty frequently during your rides, I think it's probably better to go through the 1 through 5 configurations or 1 through 9. Basically, don't start at the 0 through something, because then you'll run into trouble where you turn it down, it'll be completely off. And that's probably more surprising. So that's pretty much been my experience so far. I made those few changes, and the bike works pretty much tip-top. I'll get some more miles out of it this weekend. I plan on going on a little trip, but everything works great. It's pretty cool that it's got a working brake light on there as well. Also gives you an extra bit of visibility on the street. I did purchase these saddlebags on Amazon. I think I paid like 30 bucks for them or something like that. But I just wanted to be able to carry stuff. I'll give you an example. A couple weekends ago, we went to the beach, and I actually rode this on the sand, and we just put some water bottles, some snacks in there, and all rode our bikes over to the beach. It did fine on the sand too. Those 4-inch fat tires really do a great job. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and again, I'll follow up once the other bike, which is supposed to get here tomorrow. I'll get the Lectric XP 2.0 step through for my wife, and I just want to make sure that I have a decent comparison or something to compare to before I give you a review on this one. I really have no reference. So the Lectric will be a good way for me to see how big of a difference the rear suspension makes, the weight, how small it folds up. We'll do some side-by-sides on that, so you can kind of compare this versus the Lectric. I hear the Lectric is supposed to be a great bike also. It's definitely a little bit cheaper. This one I was able to get on sale for $13.50 when I got it, and that was no taxes, and that was shipping included. So pretty awesome deal. And that's it. Other than that, it's been a great bike. I think someone was asking if the headlight is working on mine, and yes, it works fine. When I got it, the headlight was pointed down like that, but everything's super easy to adjust on here. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. See you next time.